Good afternoon and welcome to Ascension St. Vincent Field on the campus of Marian University for today's Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference women's lacrosse matchup between the Crusaders of Madonna, who come with a overall record of 2-7, and the newly minted 9th-ranked Marian Knights, who come in 7-4 on the year. With our ISC Network crew, my name is Rick Johnston, and Marian coming in off of a victory convincing over Rochester Christian on Saturday, 18-0. Madonna has found themselves on the wrong side of a 21-0 setback to Siena Heights also on Saturday. You see the wind blowing there at our flags here at Ascension St. Vincent Field. 23-mile-an-hour winds right now, 77 degrees on this mostly cloudy afternoon as you get a look at the Madonna Crusaders under the direction of their 9th-year head coach, Dan Teskey. This game moved up a couple of hours because of some very severe thunderstorms that are coming in today. We're trying to get this women's lacrosse match in today before those storms roll in. It's going to really wreak havoc on the rest of the weather here for the rest of the week. Madonna in the goal, they send out their 5'8 freshman from Wickliffe, Ohio, Olivia Vitantonio. She's been their starting keeper this year. She's allowing just about 16 goals against per game. On the other side, KJ Hirsch, the senior from Evansville, in the goal for Marian. First draw of the day, we'll see Ruby Mason, who's one of the top Knights in draw controls at 35 on the year. She will lock up with Leanne Johnson. And we're underway from Marian, and Mason with the draw control to start, and the Knights have the opening possession. They're in the white, attacking the goal to our left here in the opening quarter. Marian 3-2 on this field this year, 7-4 overall. And a goal right out in front early on, and a quick stick goal in there for Riley Bozeman.
Goal Knights, number 11, Riley Bozeman.
So Bozeman out front gets her 10th goal of the season. Had a goal in the win against Rochester Christian last week. And just 17 seconds in, the Knights on the board, thanks to the sophomore Bozeman from Columbus, Indiana. Marian comes into the day outscoring their opponents by 15 goals on the year. You see the pass out in front. Bozeman did the rest. And the 5'6 sophomore makes it 1-0 Knights. Mason and Johnson to draw again. As the shot clock resets to 90. Mason had 2 draw controls against Rochester on Saturday. He's got 1 today and trying to get 2 here. The ground ball scooped up by Jada Taylor, and the Knights get 2 draw controls in our first 2 draws of the day, and they go right back to the offensive end against Madonna, who's clad in the highlighter yellow tops. Taylor thinks about taking it all the way. We'll dump it behind goal line extended, where she finds Ella Grace Gee, the top scorer points-wise on the year for the Knights. But a turnover by Marian. That wind again, that's what they're going into the teeth of the wind here early. And the Crusaders with Madison Hogue will try to clear. She'll work it off to her keeper, Vitantonio. An errant pass of the middle. Knights can't get the initial scoop. They'll retreat back and get it just before he gets within 10 yards of midfield. And a ground ball scoop and an unsuccessful clear. First the ground ball scoop for Marian, the unsuccessful clear for Madonna. Haley Irvin on the scoop, and the Knights go right back trying to build on that 1-0 advantage. Creeping around behind goal line. Nice move, but a shot pulled wide by Delaney Coles, who snuck around from X, had the pass on goal line extended, just couldn't finish to make it 2-zip Marian. Here's Geed up top. Dipping below goal line extended is Piercy. Dropping the pass was Mason, able to scoop it back up. Had a little bit of room to work. Pass out in front to the left-handed shot, and right between the 5-hole goes Lizzie Piercy.
Goal Knights, number 16, Lizzie Piercy.
You see Piercy finish that one off the assist from Ruby Mason. And less than 2 minutes in, the Knights have a 2-zip lead. Jumped out to an early lead against Rochester last week, as the Knights led 5-0 against Rochester after the first. They were up 12-0 at the half. Madonna fell behind early. They were down 9-0 after the first quarter play, and they also trailed by a dozen at the halftime stoppage. Olivia Lazenberry steps in to take the draw here for Madonna. She'll go against Ruby Mason, who's 2 for 2 today. Flipping it forward, in and out of the cross of Riley Bozeman, who has a goal today. Still fought for a nice little shoulder bump by Bozeman, and she gets the ground ball, and that's 3 draws and 3 draw controls for the Knights here. 2 minutes in, leading 2-0 against Madonna. Crusaders of Madonna, 0-4 in true road games this year. Loose ball behind goal line extended, stepping in Mason to pick it up. Pass back in front, goal line extended, a little fake step through. Can't get a shot away was Piercy. Then Piercy gets it back, wants to roll back to that left hand, knocked out of the cross, trying to scoop it up in front of the goal, trash in front, and putting it in nicely is Ruby Mason, who gets the ground ball and then tiptoes her way in front of the crease as Mason on the scoreboard here early. Unassisted goal there as Mason picks up the ground ball and scores her 31st goal of the year. See the nice little face dodge there to get away from the Madonna defender. And then wants to come in and check on her to make sure. That was Allison Hughes. Want to make sure that Mason got hit in the head. Want to make sure it wasn't too serious. Everybody's okay. And right now the Knights are averaging just about a goal per minute here in quarter number 1 against Madonna. Marian trying to get another draw control, and they do. Ruby Mason has won all 4 draws here today. This one with the help of her teammates. The last 2 she's popped forward after pulling the first 2 back. Nice face dodge. Geed goes in. She is stopped right on the doorstep. Nice stop by Vid Antonio. Geed second on the team in goals coming in, but the leader in points. Could not find her first tally of the year. A violation called here against Marian, and so Madonna picks it up as they'll try to get it into their attacking side of the field for the first time here today. Bree O'Connor trying to weave through traffic. Coming crossfield to Abigail Magda, who's also one of the goalkeepers for Madonna on the year. A brief stoppage there by the officials. O'Connor able to get the catch in, and fought for back on the Madonna side of the defensive end of the field. Rushlow scoops it up, but the Crusaders having the attacking half for the first time today. Rodriguez with a face dodge. Ball pops out of the cross. And a timeout taken here for Madonna, their first one here of the day, as they want to draw something up here down 3-0, a little over 3 minutes in. Today's game brought to you by AAA Roofing. When it rains, it pours, so trust the pros at AAA Roofing. That's who we call. Special thanks to AAA Roofing for their support of Marian Athletics. And Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, a proud partner of the Marian University Knights. So a 3-0 Marian lead, a little over 3 minutes gone here in the opening quarter as ninth-year head coach Dan Teske tries to draw something up on the whiteboard here for his Madonna Crusaders. They come in, have dropped 3 in a row. Marian has won 4 out of their last 5. They played a grueling schedule to start. Dropped their first 2 games either to Missouri Baptist and Benedictine before ripping off 2 in a row against Ave Maria and Georgetown. They had won 3 in a row before a pretty tight loss here to one of the preseason favorites in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. That was Lawrence Tech, who's actually become one of the better teams in the league this year. That was a 16-11 final here back on March 22nd. Big one coming up for the Knights a week from today. They get in-state foe Indiana Tech, who's the preseason pick to finish just ahead of Marian in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference standings. The Knights picked 3rd, and the Warriors of Indiana Tech picked to finish 2nd. Three different goal scorers here so far for the Knights today. It was Bozeman to start. Then the young lady right there, Lizzie Piercy, the junior, on attack. And Ruby Mason adds to her team high goal scoring total on the year now with 31. So out of the Madonna timeout, excuse me, 11:50 to go here in the first. Madonna going into the wind. It's been gusting at 23 miles an hour today on this partly or mostly cloudy afternoon. Rodriguez on the restart here at the bottom of your screen. Pass deflected, tried to go behind goal line extended, where Pattinson able to scoop it up. Guarded tightly behind X by Chase Searcy. Madonna trying to work it on that far side of the field. They duck in here with Rushlow. O'Connor making who has it here for the Crusaders, who turns away. Pass down to the near side, Hernandez. Knights in that zone defense. Pass towards the middle of the field. Unsuccessful for the Crusaders. It's scooped up in traffic, and here come the Knights the other way with Haley Irvin. First time today the Knights have had an opportunity to clear. Defender right behind Irvin. She feels the pressure, able to keep that stick away from the pressure from behind by Ryan Rodriguez. Successful clear for Marian, but a high pass too tall for Piercy to gather it in. Here comes Madonna back the other way. Alicia Dell. Making McGee, excuse me, but her pass too tall for Leanne Johnson. Towards the end line, Madonna trying to get there first. They could not. And the missed pass and the turnover gives it back here to Marian. Good sign of sportsmanship there as Johnson took a little bit of a spill. And Olivia Dean, who was there right with her step for step there to help her back up. A little bit of slippage there. Trying to fight the netting. Keeps the ball from going onto the street behind the goal.
Green card issued to the Crusaders, number 16, Sydney Pattinson.
And a green card here to Pattinson on the push. It'll be a 1-minute power play here for the Marian Knights, leading 3-0. Wide open out in front. Nice fake, and dunking it home is Lizzie Piercy for her second goal today.
Goal Knights, number 16, Lizzie Piercy.
2 goals for Piercy, who did not play the last time out. You see the head fake there, goes high, and Piercy able to dunk it low. Second goal for her today. Piercy missed last week's game. She was in Alabama presenting research for her major. She's going to be a genetic counselor after she graduates next year. So that's why she didn't play against Rochester Christian. She steps out and gets an early breather after her second tally. Alex Dean in to take the draw here for Marian. She locks up with Leanne Johnson, who's back out there for the Crusaders. Dean trying to flip it forward, wants to find Anna Moore. So able to scoop it up off the bounce, and now Moore with the head of steam. Pressing up the right side, and she'll duck behind goal line extended as Marian sets things up here in the half field. Field's been tilted in their favor here for the majority of our opening quarter. And a green card issued here against Leanne Johnson. That's her first one today.
Green card issued to the Crusaders, number 13, Leanne Johnson.
So the Knights start with the behind goal line extended. So they try to score on their second straight power play. They're already 1 for 1 here today, and they lead 4-0. Stepping in, Geed. Backs it out before dumping it off to Montez. Behind goal line extended once again to Brooks. Moore able to get the pass off after running through a check. Faking a long shot was Montez. Knights again on the power play here for another about 20 seconds or so, but they give it away. And now some fancy footwork here from Lazenby, able to dance her way through trouble as Madonna tries to clear. Home free up the near sideline for Maddie Conrad. Crusaders have yet to attempt a shot today. Conrad trying to find a little bit of a step. She face dodges back to that left hand. Has a teammate cutting right through the middle, but her pass deflected down. She tried to work it over to Ryan Rodriguez. Grace Kircher knocked it down for the Knights. Another turnover here, another cause turnover here for Marian. They try to stay perfect on the clears here today. Sarah Travis up that far sideline for the Knights, and they go back to goal line extended in Brooks, who's been quarterbacking things behind the goal since checking in a little bit earlier here for Piercy. Dean on the ground ball scoop. Montez able to get there in time before it rolls out of play. That wind really wreaking havoc here, even though the Knights have it at their back here in quarter number 1. Brooks a dump off to Moore. Takes the screen, trying to turn the corner, got bumped, threw it back to the screener. Nice catch by Geed in traffic. A couple fake steps in. She tried to go sidearm, and she bounced it behind, but backed up by Coles. Quick restart for Marian, and again, it's actually Emily Blackburn at the controls this time, as she's stepped there behind goal line extended. Violation against Madonna, and Marian keeps it in the attacking end. Face dodge by Blackburn, takes the extra step, and she goes high to high, and Emily Blackburn scores her first goal today in pretty fashion, scoring from starting behind goal line extended. Face dodge drew 2, and then Blackburn took a big spill coming right through the middle of the field. It's going to be Emily Blackburn's 3rd goal of the year.
Shot clock violation, no goal.
They're actually going to waive the goal off, say a shot clock violation here against the Knights, and so Blackburn denied her 3rd goal of the year. And Madonna will look to clear with 7 and change remaining in the first. The pass from Vid Antonio, the keeper, or the netminder, was unsuccessful. Almost deflected in. Vid Antonio able to find it, scoop it up inside the crease. She had some traffic in front of her. Another opportunity to clear, but the turnover and the ground ball scooped up by Dean keeps it here with Marian. Dean looking to prod, lobs it behind X and Brooks. Some room to work here for Brooks. She'll deal it off to Dean. Man-to-man look for Madonna. They've been playing a lot of defense here in the opening quarter. Ella Grace Geed now behind X. She'd been normally operating up top for most of the day. Violation against Madonna, and so Marian will restart behind goal line extended. Here's Geed. Face dodge, Dean. Goes that left hand, tried to go low to low and just missed the low corner by an inch. Good looking shot there from Alex Dean, the sophomore from Fishers, Indiana. Wide open out front. Dean gets the pass, and she finishes it off this time.
Goal Knights, number 6, Alex Dean. With the assist from number 4, Mackenzie Brooks.
Brooks on the helper, and you see the finish there from Dean, the sophomore, able to pick up goal number 15 on the year. Brooks gets her 3rd assist. As the Knights running subs in and out Here with 5 and change left to go in the first. They are up 5-0. Johnson again to take the draw here for Madonna. It'll be Coles out there to take the draw here for Marian. Coles with 1 draw control on the year, trying to get 2 on this one. Flips it forward, able to snag it was Alex Dean. And now she's got ahead of steam after just scoring a few moments ago. Dean pass out in front, threw it a little bit behind her intended target in Jada Taylor. But a high pass from the netminder Vid Antonio. And a push from behind. We'll keep it here with Marian. Remember, in women's lacrosse, game clock and shot clock only stop after goals or fouls. Almost reading the pass and intercepting it was Johnson, able to snipe it away, but going high to high and able to stop it was Vid Antonio. Good read there by the freshman netminder. Turned away Emily Blackburn on that attempt. It'll be Rhea O'Connor, the junior, carrying it forward for the Crusaders, as they are able to get that successful clear and get their 3rd touch here in the attacking end today. Goal line extended, Conrad. Back near side to O'Connor, has been very active today for the Crusaders. They try to get their first shot here of the day. A high pass through X. Will be a turnover by Madonna, scooped up on the ground ball by Irvin. A push by Madonna, and that'll allow the Knights to keep carrying forward as they've got Lizzie Piercy back on the field and stepping across midfield right there. Knights on a break, little pass behind Dean. She's able to gather it in. Gets back to that strong dominant right hand, and she's able to put it home. Nice split dodge back to the right hand by Dean. She scored back-to-back tallies here for number 9, Marian. Really nice clear there. Piercy able to take it across midfield. A long pass. Dean right there. That's the pretty move that turns her a defender around. She goes high to low. And Dean able to finish with her 2nd tally today, coming off the hat trick last Saturday against Rochester Christian. So back-to-back dominant starts in the opening quarter for Marian in their last 2 games against Rochester and here against Madonna today back at home. Lazenby on the draw for Madonna. Back out there to try to win another one is Coles. Marian has not lost a single draw yet today. Until right there as Lazenby able to scoop it up for the Crusaders. Then she takes a spill. But the violation goes against Madonna, and a quick restart here for Marian as the Knights try to build on their 6-0 lead. Pass out in front for the Knights. Over the shorter defender and able to finish is Coles off the assist from Blackburn.
Number 21, Delaney Coles.
Coles using that 5'8" height, went right over her shorter defender. See the little underneath catch, turned and shot right over the Madonna defender. Nice looking goal there from Coles, who had a pair last week. Thought she had one earlier. It was wiped away. It was off the young lady that assisted her, Emily Blackburn, but Coles on the board, her first one today. And Coles will go back to take the draw here for number 9, Marian. See the Crusaders defense huddling her up around one of their assistant coaches. Maya Dyson and Maddie Piercy, the assistants for Teskey. And a violation on the draw goes against Marian. Quickly to scoop it up, O'Connor, and here comes Madonna. Still in search of that first shot today as O'Connor carries it inside the box. Let her teammate in Pattinson a little bit too much. Crusaders trying to scoop it up on the left side of the field, and they get it thanks to Johnson. Whistle was blown. Maybe a late addition there for the Crusaders. They have the proper 7 on this end of the field. Now our official stopping again to make sure that Madonna has, or Marian has the proper amount of folks on this side of the field. So we do have 7-on-7. Madonna has yet to attempt a shot today, as they'll restart with Leanne Johnson, 5'2" junior, on the far side of the field. Less than 3 to play here in the first. Here's O'Connor up top for Madonna. Right hand cradle. Well, to get that left hand, it looked like. Still trying to find some help. Defender comes and pounces. That's Searcy for Madonna, trying to turn her away. Bad pass and a ground ball here for Rachel Moody and Marian. They've been perfect on the clears today as Moody charges up the far side. High pass. And the first unsuccessful clear for Marian's in the books as Rushlow there to pick up the loose change for the Crusaders. Madonna's got a player streaking down the near side of the field. Unable to get to her in time, but turning the corner is McKee. And Madonna has not been able to pull off a shot yet here with 2 minutes remaining in the first. Seriously, they're trying to deter the pass. Out near the top of the box. Fought for, and a good stick there for Mason to knife that one away from the Crusader that was on her back, which was Magda. A goal today for Ruby Mason. Pass out in front, right down Main Street, and pinging it off the side post is Riley Bozeman for her second goal today.
Number 11, Riley Bozeman.
Transition offenses looked pretty good today for the Knights. Second tally for Bozeman. Gives her 11 on the year. She gets her stick back from our officials. And the second helper for Mason, the top point getter this year for the Knights. As you see wide open spaces right down the middle. Bozeman able to go to that far post with that right hand and able to beat Vin Antonio. Sydney Pattinson steps in to take her first draw of the day for Madonna. As Coles out there directing where she exactly wants Bozeman to stand here for this draw. Almost able to scoop that one up was Taylor, unsuccessfully though. And Madonna with their second draw control here of the day, still looking for that elusive first shot. Conrad off to Rodriguez. Head of steam, lets it go. It's high. And it'll be backed up, though, by the Crusaders. So the first shot on the board here for Madonna with about a minute remaining in quarter number 1. They had Conrad open for a moment. Hernandez from straight away. Marian in their zone defense. Right-handed cradle for Kennedy. Step through the middle. Rodriguez was the one that let that shot go earlier. Now dunks it behind goal line extended. Pattinson in front, short shot, goes a little bit wide on the attempt from Conrad. And to the end line, scooped up here by Searcy. Another opportunity to clear for the Knights with 40 seconds remaining in the opening quarter as they try to build on their 8-goal advantage. Sissel might think about going end-to-end. Hits the brakes, but then the ball popped out of her cross. Madonna's able to sweep it back into the crease for their keeper, Olivia Vidantonio. Coming back to help out her netminder is Rodriguez. 12 seconds for Madonna to do something here in the first. Rodriguez across midfield with 3. A little bit too far away to try to do something with it. And that'll be the end of quarter number 1. 2 shots late for Madonna. It was all Knights in the opening stanza. As they take an 8-0 lead here to the second here on the ISC Sports Network.
To see the success that we've had around here has been very, very rewarding for me. My name is Steve Downing. I'm athletic director. We've been able to build buildings. We've been able to put up video boards. We've been able to build locker rooms, dining halls here. And I think a lot of that speaks to the M Club itself. You know, people are really excited about what we're doing here. We haven't had to sacrifice anything for our athletes, okay, in terms of clothing them, feeding them, or traveling into events. And we've done it in a first-class way, and I'm really excited about what that means for the M Club itself.
Merchants Bank is one of the nation's top-performing banks. Take our fixed-rate CD, for example. At 4.5 APY, it's a great way to earn a higher interest rate than you do with a traditional savings account. Merchants Bank makes it simple. What you see is what you get. A great rate. No gimmicks, no minimums, no hidden fees. Merchants Bank, one of the nation's top-performing banks. Hop on over.
Special thanks to BSN, the preferred provider of apparel for Marian Knights Athletics. As we wind down our intermission here between quarters 1 and 2, the Knights dominate the opening stanza, leading 8-0 as they shut out their opponent in the first quarter for the second game in a row. Saturday, again, Rochester Christian, they were up 5-0 after 1, then really jumped on big in the second quarter to lead 12-0 at the half. Sadly, the second game in a row where Madonna has found themselves scoreless after 1 stanza. They trailed Siena Heights 9-0 after 15 minutes on Saturdays. The Crusaders were shut out against the Saints, Siena Heights, on Saturday, 21-0. The Knights also able to shut out their opponents, and both teams, one team trying to keep their shutout streak intact, that's Marian, the team on your screen right there, and Madonna trying to find their first goal here today. Just a couple shots for the Crusaders at the end of the first quarter. Crowd on hand here enjoying the sunny weather while it lasts. We know it's going to disappear here, sadly, fairly soon, but a 77-degree day here on April 2nd. But a very windy one here at Ascension St. Vincent Field, 23 miles an hour the wind. Let's take a look at Delaney Colas, who's had a couple draw controls today. She's also scored once. Shout out to our great crew, our camera operators, barreling and fighting through that wind today. Elijah Mash, Ian Wheeler, and Jacob Kripe. In the truck, Vince Morellis, our director and replay today, Mr. Dalton Cox. Ruby Mason with a goal and 2 assists in the opening quarter. Trying to win and get another draw control here. She's been pretty dominant on that today and throughout the season here for the Knights. The leader in draw controls at 35, but winning that one here for the Crusaders of Madonna was Sydney Pattinson. Two teams switch sides here in the second. Madonna in the yellow uniforms. Marian in the home whites. Cutting through traffic is Conrad. Rolling away from pressure is Hannah Dickinson. Pass was blocked. O'Connor tried to thread it to the middle. Another ground ball scooping ahead of steam here for Anna Moore of Marian. Long pass to midfield. Coming across to get it is Ella Grace Geed. Second on the team in goals scored. First in points. Looking for her first point today. Pass out front. Little shot, and getting a piece of it was Vid Antonio on the attempt from Mackenzie Brooks. And backed up by the Crusaders, and they have a chance to clear. They'll have to go the long way from the end of the other opposite end of the field, and Abigail Hanchett at the controls here. Off to the netminder, Vid Antonio. Dropped on the pass, trying to scoop it up was Dean. She has it. Eludes one defender. Looks like we might get our first free possession shot here of the day.
Green card issued to the Crusaders, number 27, Abigail Magda.
So Magda the guilty party, but a 8-meter shot coming up here for Alex Dean, her first one of the day. Steps in, takes, and stopped by Vid Antonio. So our first free position shot of the day, unsuccessful here for the Knights, and Madonna with an opportunity to clear. Get just a couple of shots for the Crusaders. So they try to end their scoreless drought, which has spanned now 5 quarters. Dell gets it back from McKee. In traffic was O'Connor, knocked away. With Searcy trying to go scoop it up. And the violation on Marian will keep it here with Madonna. Pass bouncing out front, Dixon. Too far in front, but then deflected in off of a Marian defender. That will beat the keeper, KJ Hirsch, and so an own goal.
Goal scored by number 34, Lily McKee.
And they're going to give it to Lily McKee. She was the one that threw it in on the pass. It goes off of a Marian defender and into the back of the net, and that breaks the scoreless drought here for Madonna. So, look at it right here. Dixon passed it out front, but then on the way there got deflected off one of the Marian defenders out front. The two closest players there were Searcy or Sarah Travis. So the Crusaders end their scoreless drought. It stops at a little over 5 quarters. And Marian's shutout streak ends at just over 5 quarters. Into the air. Getting that 23-mile-an-hour wind, kind of wreaking havoc on our draws today. Back-to-back draw controls here for Madonna. Hogue dances with it. She has Geed on her back hip. Still's not been able to dispatch of Geed just yet, as Hogue able to retreat here. Unlike the men's game, no time limit to get it across midfield. You can have that full 90-second shot clock to do so, but an errant pass rolls out of bounds, and the Knights, who are going into that 23-mile-an-hour wind, will try to get into their attacking half for the first time here in the second quarter. Piercy. And a couple of tallies in that first quarter. Gee, the top point producer on the year for the Knights. Former newcomer of the year in the WLAC and a first-team all-WLAC pick. Score quiet here. Out in front, Piercy, lefty, had it checked away from behind nicely by Madonna, and the Crusaders will try to clear up the right side of the field. Successful clear for Leanne Johnson. Gets to her left hand with two Knights trying to track her down. Goes cross field, just out of the reach of Rodriguez. Rodriguez on the hip of Olivia Dean. Travis forward to Moore. And it's Geed coming back to get it right at midfield. Geed patiently forward, deals forward to Mason. Those two, the high school teammates, have been playing together since middle school and have carried it here to Marian. But a turnover by the Knights gives it right back to the Crusaders. Ground ball scooped up by Hanchett. But a turnover and a little duck there from trouble by Irvin. And the ball stays to the attacking end here for Marian. Again, they're going into the wind here in the second quarter after having the wind at their backs in the first and leading 8-0. Popping out to help is Montez. Dean and now Geed, who's yet to score or assist today. Righty cradle for Montez. Now accelerates. Tight quarter pass in front. Couldn't connect with Piercy, out of bounds, and it's going back to Madonna. Marian thought it was a shot and they had backed it up, and the Crusaders with an opportunity to push forward here. A little over 5 minutes gone here in the second. That minder Vin Antonio has it. And coming back as the outlet there is Conrad. Conrad able to get through the initial pressure, but then dropped it. Popped out of the air by the one that pressured and Piercy. And the ground ball is the property of Ruby Mason. Ella Grace Geed initially avoids Rodriguez. And a timeout taken here for Marian, their first stoppage of the day. Indiana Members Credit Union is proud to support Marian University and now offers a Marian University Knights debit card. The card is included when you open a free IMCU checking account. Get your Marian University Knights debit card today and show your support. Visit any IMCU branch or sign up online now at imcu.com. See, fifth-year head coach Allie Stork-Sneed on the right side of your screen. Seventh year for the former Butler Bulldog here at Marian. Always interesting to see the different types of iBlack lacrosse players. Don, Marissa Rushlow with a very involved but menacing-looking iBlack there, both around the lips, cheeks, and over that left eye. See the butterflies there on the back of the shooting shirts today for the Knights, supporting Morgan's message. Represents a former women's lacrosse player at Duke University who sadly took her own life after dealing with some mental health issues after suffering an injury during her playing career. So a very nice ceremony before today's game, reminding folks that there are plenty of outlets if you need to talk to somebody here on the Marian campus or even in our own lives, not just here at Marian University. So that butterfly on the shooting shirts today for the Marian Knights. And a wonderful cause to support not just here for the student athletes, but also in our everyday lives as well. All Knights here as they try to move their record to 8-4 on the year. They're supposed to have a game with Aquinas on Saturday, but that's already been ruled a forfeit victory for the Knights. So they'll have a rare Saturday off before that big clash here next Wednesday early evening against in-state foe Indiana Tech. As the Warriors have become one of the better college lacrosse teams here in the Midwest, both on the women's and on the men's side. Marian ball out of their own timeout. They go to Coles behind goal line extended. Low pass, unable to gather that one in Blackburn. And the turnover by the Knights gives it right back here to Madonna. Conrad trying to clear for Madonna. Pressure by Geed. Good clear for Conrad and the Crusaders. She's got a head of steam coming up that right side of the field. Looks for help and gets it in Rushlow. And now O'Connor. She had the ball in her stick a ton here today for the Crusaders. Rodriguez trying to find an angle. Lobs it up towards the middle. Nice catch and a one-handed shot bounced wide on a good look there from Sydney Pattinson. Top goal scorer and point producer on the year for the Crusaders. But the Knights get it back as they've got a head of steam coming up the near side with Dean. Dean looking to go right to the goal. Face dodge, a little underhand shovel shot. Went right into the knees of the netminder, Vid Antonio. But a nice individual effort there for the Knights. Conrad again the other way for Madonna with Taylor marking her. Dixon throws back up top to O'Connor. As Rushlow and O'Connor play catch. Jetted pass out front off the end of the cross of Kennedy. 3 or 4 Knights right there. Nobody can scoop it up cleanly. It's still free. And then finally Madonna comes out and sweeps it up and scoops it up on their own for Kennedy. Pass thrown behind Rushlow. Will it stay in play? Taylor scoops it up to make sure it does, and she's got a step. And here come the Knights on the clear. Marian has not scored yet here in the second quarter after putting 8 on the board in the first, but might have a numbers advantage here. Mason fakes left, goes right. Couldn't get the shot away with the right hand. Face dodge back to her left, rolls back to the right, and dumps down the Piercy and goal line extended. Geed knifes her way in, tiptoes around the crease and able to dunk it. First goal today for the top point producer, Ella Grace Geed, on a wonderful individual effort. See the face dodge there, had to tightrope that crease, but a one-on-one goal for Ella Grace Geed, 25 of them on the year for the junior. Allison Sissel at the draw for Marian. And a draw control for the Knights, scooped up by Jada Taylor. Taylor drops it, picks it up. Trying to face dodge, and the pushing violation called there against the Madonna defender. Was it in the critical scoring area? Looks like it was just on the outside of it, and so no free possession shot here for Marian. Piercy skip pass up top to the right point in Bozeman, who scored back in the opening quarter. Sissel and Bozeman switch places. Sissel might try to do it herself. Backs out a little bit before going down to Piercy, goal line extended. To Exon Mason. But has a couple of helpers back in the opening quarter to go along with a goal. Outside the critical scoring area to Bozeman. Dumps off to Colas. Then passing outside to Geed, who just scored the last time on this end here for Marian. Piercy go one-on-one using her height and her strength. Misses that shot wide, but back it up is Mason. Face dodge for Mason. She's home free, puts it wide. She took that extra step. Maybe could have taken one more extra step to greatness there. And a shot clock violation. As you get to reset the shot clock, if it hit the goalie or one of the pipes, it did not on the take there from Mason. And with 4 and change to go here in the opening half, Madonna attempts to clear once again. They ride the win on that pass, but scooped up by Travis, and the Knights quickly push it back to their attacking end once again, leading by 8. Coles looking for an angle, finds a cutter out front. That's Mason, and she puts it into the back of the net. Second goal of the day for Ruby Mason.
Number 7, Ruby Mason.
See a little fall-away pass there from Coles. That's 2 goals and 2 assists today for Ruby Mason. Junior from here in Indianapolis. There's her and Ella Grace Gee, the 2 high school teammates at Bishop Chatard High School. Middle school teammates as well. You can see Ruby directing where she wants her teammate Montez, staying on the outside of the center circle. Or she might be trying to play this draw. Pattinson back out there for Madonna. She's had some success today here on the draws. And the violation goes against Marian, and a quick restart and a draw control win here for Pattinson. Less than 4 to play here in our first half. And Madonna will take their second timeout here of the first half. Today's game brought to you by Tom O'Brien Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. If saving money is important to you, visit Tom O'Brien Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, a proud sponsor of Marian Athletics. Tom O'Brien is Indy's preferred Jeep dealer with 2 locations and the biggest Jeep inventory in Indiana. To show our support, Tom O'Brien will donate $200 to Marian for every car any student, parent, employee, or friend of Marian buys when you mention this promo. Go Knights, and go to Tom O'Brien to see how our family works for you since 1933. Another beautiful day here on the Marian campus. Getting a little bit darker as our first half has rolled on. Sun tried to grace us with its presence a couple of times back in the opening stanza, but we know the thunderstorms are rolling in. Some pretty serious storms are coming in towards the southern part of Indiana, as you can see the sky overhead. Great shot by our crew today. Those clouds are going to be bringing rain here in a couple of hours. Again, that's why we bumped up the start time. We didn't do it, but the start time of today's game bumped up. Try to make sure that we could get today's contest in. But it's been all night. They scored 8 goals in the opening quarter. Have gotten 2 so far here in the second. See a couple of the Marian fans enjoy their time here today at Ascension St. Vincent Field. Knights number 9 in the country, the most recent NAIA poll that came out just a few hours ago. Got a lot to dance about if you're Haley Irvin and Esbady Montez coming out of the Madonna timeout. It's the Knights on defense here with 3:41 left to go before recess. night sub Abigail Hanchett. You see her there at the bottom of your screen coming on for Madonna out of the timeout. Trying to look at that first goal they've scored on their own. Their goal here in the second, their only one of the day, went off of a Marian defender off the pass from Dixon out front. She has it here, right through, goes high to high. And that was McKee, actually. And McKee's shot sails over the crossbar, but backed up by the Crusaders. Here's O'Connor from straight away. Far side, and Leanne Johnson leaning on her is Montez defensively. O'Connor again, threw it out front, but it was right behind Hanchett, who had some room to work right in front of the Marian goal. And just almost able to walk that tightrope and try to keep it in was Adriana Kennedy. But scooped up by Haley Irvin, and the Knights will look to clear. Irvin, pinpoint pass to Geed. Who's really starting to book it here into the attacking end. Steps inside the box. Mason. And now Montez. Tries to set up the dodge down the right alley. Right-handed shot goes high to high. But a whistle blew on the push. But it'll still count for Esbady Montez, her second goal of the year, unassisted.
Number 20, Esbady Montez.
See the split dodge to the right hand by Montez. She got pushed. That's what the whistle was for. And she's able to beat Vid Antonio to the stick side. Freshman from the south side of Indianapolis. Her first goal of the year came on a free possession shot. So the 10-goal lead enacts the running clock here in the second quarter between Marian and Madonna. Mason v. Pattinson on this draw.
1 minute. 1 minute remaining.
So a minute remaining here in the second quarter, and the draw control is that of Madonna's. Johnson picked up the ground ball, checked away by Madonna, trying to keep it here, but a push called against the Crusaders. That'll be Montez, the most recent goal scorer, looking to clear. Tight quarter pass, able to snatch it out of the air. Coming up the near side is Geed. 25 seconds remaining before half. Geed has a goal already in the second. Pass out front, and the shot goes off the top of the crossbar. Loose out in front. The Knights couldn't get a clean shot, as retreating back will be Moore. The one deflected away was Piercy. This one bounced in nicely by Alex Dean.
Goal Knights, number 6, Alex Dean.
We'll see if they want to give the assist there to Moore.
At the end of 2-year Knights.
Couple of steps there for Dean, and that takes us to the end of the first half. Marian led 8-0 after one. They extend their lead to 11 at the end of 2, as the Knights look to push their lead, or their record, to 8-4 on the year. You're watching Marian Knights Women's Lacrosse on the ISC Sports Network.
When you have back or neck pain, you'll try anything for relief. Anything.
Honey?
Honey, it was mustard seed.
For real options, get your back in front of the spine experts at Ortho Indy. Ortho Indy Spine. This is your way back.
There's something that may surprise you about Marian University. It's not our Catholic faith or our Franciscan values. It's not our 5,000 students or our diversity. It's not Marian's championship athletics or our Indianapolis location. It's that Marian is home to Indiana's only college of osteopathic medicine. Marian, Indy's Catholic University.
We jumped in immediately. We take an intro to engineering course.
And they sit there and tell you, we're not going to push you through every single prereq your first 2 years. We're going to let you get hands-on work with engineering right away, because 2 years of a prereq, that's boring.
There's companies always asking for students with shop experience. And the dean will email me and say, hey, they're looking for a guy just like you, which is awesome that the dean knows who a guy like me is.
Hey, grab me one too.
Getting an internship here has been much easier than I anticipated. My friends at bigger schools are telling me, well, I need to live, close to this city so I can work for this company. Well, I'm already close to the city. I live here.
Merchants Bank is one of the nation's top performing banks. Take our fixed rate CD, for example. At 4.5 APY, it's a great way to earn a higher interest rate than you do with a traditional savings account. Merchants Bank makes it simple. What you see is what you get. A great rate. No gimmicks, no minimums, no hidden fees. Merchants Bank, one of the nation's top performing banks. Hop on over.
This story is mad good.
Ice Spice?
Who's that?
It's my ex, lemon lime soda.
This is intense.
But I love you.
Aw, buddy, it'll be okay.
Or not.
Back at a warm but blustery Marian University here on the west side of the capital city of Indiana. The Knights on top of the Crusaders 12-1 here after the first half of play. To take a look at some of the first half stats. There were 5 different goal scorers in that first half for Marian. And they got 2 from Lizzie Piercy, 2 from Ruby Mason, and 2 from Riley Bozeman. A goal from Ella Grace Geed and 1 from Delaney Coles. Multiple assists for Ruby Mason. She's got 5 points on the day with her 3 helpers. An assist as well for Piercy. Also, same helpers for Geed and Coles. 23 shots in that first half for Marian compared to 5 for Madonna. Hitting the goal for the Crusaders was Lily McKee. A pass out front went off of a Marian defender and into the back of the net. They have not forced KJ Hirsch, the stellar goalie for Marian, to try to have to make any saves yet today. The other interesting note to keep your eyes on, I mentioned the shots on goal, 16-1. You mentioned that it's in favor of Marian. Draw controls, though, have been straight down the middle, 7 apiece for each team in that first half. That was a number that Marian really owned in the first quarter, and a good job by the Crusaders to battle back and even up that in the second. We'll come back with more next. You're watching Marian Women's Lacrosse on the ISC Sports Network.
Getting an internship here has been much easier than I anticipated. My friends at bigger schools are telling me, well, I need to live, close to this city so I can work for this company. Well, I'm already close to the city. I live here.
Merchants Bank is one of the nation's top performing banks. Take our fixed rate CD, for example. At 4.5 APY, it's a great way to earn a higher interest rate than you do with a traditional savings account. Merchants Bank makes it simple. What you see is what you get. A great rate. No gimmicks, no minimums, no hidden fees. Merchants Bank, one of the nation's top performing banks. Hop on over.
This story is mad good.
Ice Spice?
Who's that?
It's my ex, lemon lime soda.
This is intense.
But I love you.
Aw, buddy, it'll be okay.
Or not. When you have back or neck pain, you'll try anything for relief. Anything.
Honey?
Honey, it was mustard seed.
For real options, get your back in front of the spine experts at Ortho Indy. Ortho Indy Spine. This is your way back.
There's something that may surprise you about Marian University. It's not our Catholic faith or our Franciscan values. It's not our 5,000 students or our diversity. It's not Marian's championship athletics or our Indianapolis location. It's that Marian is home to Indiana's only college of osteopathic medicine. Marian, Indy's Catholic University.
Here are the first half highlights, and you're going to see a lot of scoring here for Marian. First on the board, or one of their first two goal scorers today was Lizzie Piercy for the Knights. Also had an assist in there as well. First goal today belonged to that young lady, Riley Bozeman, on that one right there. Good pass out front, and Bozeman able to finish off the loose change. It was Ruby Mason who had 5 points in the first half, 2 goals and 3 helpers. Also a decent amount of draw controls as well. There's the second tally for Piercy. On the find out front, that was Alex Dean, able to bury one of her 2 goals in the first half. That's her second one right there. Colas with a tally as well, as the Knights again scored 8 goals in that first quarter when the sun was out. Here's the lone goal for the Crusaders. Lobbed in on the pass from McKee, but it went off the back leg or back heel of a Marian defender, found its way into the back of the net. Nice tight quarter goal from Ella Grace Geet as she walked around the crease on a face dodge. Mason picked up goal number 2. And this was the one that got the Knights bench really going late in the quarter number 2 as Beatty Montez picks up her second goal of the year. Dean able to turn the corner and put it into the back of the net as well. We mentioned everything offensively goes the way of the Knights in the opening 30 minutes. As the Knights will start tossing some T-shirts out here into the stands. They made their way back onto the field. And we'll step aside one more time and come back with the third quarter draw. All Knights as they lead by 11 here as we get ready to start the third quarter. Coming up next here on the ISC Sports Network.
Merchants Bank is one of the nation's top performing banks. Take our fixed rate CD, for example. At 4.5 APY, it's a great way to earn a higher interest rate than you do with a traditional savings account. Merchants Bank makes it simple. What you see is what you get. A great rate. No gimmicks, no minimums, no hidden fees. Merchants Bank, one of the nation's top performing banks. Hop on over.
We jumped in immediately. We take an intro to engineering course.
And they sit there and tell you, we're not going to push you through every single prereq your first 2 years. We're going to let you get hands-on work with engineering right away, because 2 years of a prereq, that's boring.
There's companies always asking for students with shop experience. And the dean will email me and say, hey, they're looking for a guy just like you, which is awesome that the dean knows who a guy like me is.
Hey, grab me one too.
Today's game is brought to you by these fine folks that are new supporters of Marian University. They're proud to welcome new partners and sponsors for the 24-25 athletics year. The Knights are proud to welcome Krieg DeVault, the Carson Agency, and Merchants Bank as new sponsors this academic year. Saw Alex Dean a couple times there in that halftime. She had 3 goals, a hat trick for Dean, the sophomore from Fishers, Indiana. Back-to-back games with a hat trick for Alex. There were 7 different goal scorers in the first half for Marian as they try to pick up their second win in a row and their 5th out of their last 6 games. Here in the 25 campaign, they came in today tied for second in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference standings with Lawrence Tech and Siena Heights. They lost to Lawrence Tech earlier this year. They'll get Siena Heights later in the campaign. Madonna came in tied for 5th in the WLAC with Bethel up there in northern Indiana. So remember, draw controls even, 7-7 at the end of the first half. As Allison Sissel out there to take the first draw here for Marian in half number 2. She'll go against Sydney Pattinson, who had a really big effect on that draw control number for Madonna in quarter number 2. Soaring through the air was Bozeman, trying to slap it out of the air. Now back towards the box. Pop forward, and the Crusaders will catch it off the little ricochet with Pattinson. But then taken right out of the cross of O'Connor or the Knights, and there's a push. With the head of steam was Sarah Travis charging up that right side of the field. A switch in goal here for the Knights as Marissa Bardo, the 5'4" junior from here in Indianapolis,
Number 16, Sydney Pattinson.
is in the goal here for the Crusaders. And a yellow card has been issued here to Madonna's Sydney Pattinson, her first of the day. So that'll be a 2-minute penalty here for Pattinson. Madonna almost able to get that deflection off of Marian, but they deflected the ball out of bounds. As Knights have to clear, but a handcuffed pass sends Searcy retreating back in towards her net. Now she gives off to the backup netminder Bardo. Long pass, the wind at her back, right on the button to Montez, who scored towards the end of that second quarter. Get on the power play are the Knights for 2 minutes here after the yellow card issued to Pattinson on the push. Mason twirling is Piercy, trying to find an advantage. And that'll be a violation inside the critical scoring area. And an 8-meter shot coming up here for Ruby Mason on the right side of the field. Knights have not scored on a free position shot today. It's just their second one here in the ball game. Mason passes in front and handcuffed her teammate. And the Knights 0 for 2 on the free position shots here so far today. Mason, one of their better players when it comes to the free possession shots. She came into the day 4 of 6. Pass stolen by Leanne Johnson. Checked out of the cross by Dean. And a green card will be issued here to Olivia Dean of Marian, the first card issued against the Knights today.
Olivia Dean.
So 6-on-6 here in the attacking end. Remember, with Sydney Pattinson still serving the majority of her 2-minute yellow card. We'll see if Madonna can score on the 6-on-6 here. With each team down a player, Pattinson returns. As Pattinson coming out of the box, the Crusaders don't see her until she's right there on top of the ball carrier. High-to-high shot. Nice stop from Bardo. A few moments before that shot was ripped by Pattinson. You see a Madonna player down there on the far side of the field. We'll take a break as the sports medicine staff comes out to take a look at Madonna's Leanne Johnson, and she's going to be helped off the field. We'll come right back with more third quarter action here from Marian University.
Getting an internship here has been much easier than I anticipated. My friends at bigger schools are telling me, well, I need to live, close to this city so I can work for this company. Well, I'm already close to the city. I live here.
This story is mad good.
Ice Spice?
Who's that?
It's my ex lemon lime soda.
This is intense.
But I love you.
Buddy, it'll be okay.
Or not.
So one of the assistant coaches coming out for Madonna, helping Leanne Johnson off the field with that lower leg injury. Again, she got tangled up with somebody on the far side of the field before Pattinson let a shot go. As Johnson helped to the sideline here, the sports medicine staff at Marian will tend to her. And the Knights will try to clear. Almost dropping it was Bardo. It slipped out of the cross. And the shot clock resets to 90. Pass deflected as Bardo on the clear. Dean out of the box and with a successful clear here for Marian. Dean from the right side looking for an angle. Threw it into traffic. Smacked down by the Crusaders and picked up off the carpet here by Madison Hogue. Hogue turns and waits for help. Her pass knocked down and stolen by the Knights. Sissel. Had it, but a hit to the head there against Hogue. And she'll come off.
A yellow card issued to the Critters, number 6. Crusaders, number 6, Madison Hogue.
So 2 yellow cards here for the Crusaders. Both coming here in the third, their first 2 yellow cards of the day. And a power play, another power play opportunity here for Marian. They've been able to convert on just one of those here today out of the 2 or 3 that they've had. Knights working it around the perimeter with Mason and Coles. Piercy at X. Trying to skip it off to Montez. Cut down by the Crusader backline defense and then picked up off the turf by Zadancic. Her pass, though, intercepted, and Marian keeps it here still on that 2-minute power play. Dancing through traffic, looking for an angle. Turning and bearing it is Allison Sissel.
Goal Knights, number 10, Allison Sissel. The assist from number 24, Ella Curry-Ski.
They give Geed the assist, but Sissel able to turn and able to drive that shoulder down. Good looking shot there from Sissel. Freshman from the south side of Indianapolis in Greenwood picks up her 8th goal of the year. Had a hat trick against Rochester Christian Saturday. See her jogging off the field there on her first tally today. That's the first goal of the second half for either team. Dean, who has the hat trick in back-to-back games, ready to take the draw. She matches up with Pattinson, who's been pretty effective today here for the Crusaders on the draws, particularly kickstarting that big run in the second quarter. Dean plays it back. But a violation against Madonna. Might have been entering the circle too early. And Dean picks it up. This is Olivia Dean, and then up to Ella Grace Geed. Suns come back out behind the clouds. Again, we're trying to beat the clock before the heavy thunderstorms roll into the state here coming up in about an hour or 2. Blackburn just below goal line extended. Up top for the Knights, they've led the entire way, jumped down to an 8-0 lead after 1. Moore, and now Mason pops out as an outlet. Mason a split dodge to her left hand, now back to her right. Pass in front, Geed bumped. Kept possession, finds a teammate out front. Shot tried to go high to low, unable to finish was Moore. Good save from Vin Antonio. Brooks on the restart for Marian from X. 55 seconds left on the shot clock. Mason gets a screen from Geed, throws it back to her. Smacked out of the air by Dell, but then it's picked away from behind by the Knights. Olivia Dean on the scoop. And they'll reset the shot clock here to 90, and so Marian can be a little bit more deliberate here on this possession after they had almost Run through about half of the shot clock before the turnover, then getting it back. Dean and Moore play catch. The Knights in white. Madonna in the road yellow today. Mason to that face dodge, poked out. She tried to work it back to her right hand. Geed Skies isn't able to pick up the ground ball and keeps it here with Marian. Threads the needle, finds a teammate. Low-to-low shot goes wide from Olivia Dean. And Brooks there to back it up. Blackburn surveys into the wind for Mason. When at the backs of the Knights here shooting on the goal, but if you're trying to pass from goal line extended up top, you've got to go right into the teeth of that 25-mile-an-hour wind. Olivia Dean lobs it up to Mason. It's the top of the offense here for the Knights. Geed had a sliver of a step, pushed away by Hogue. Geed still has it with 30 seconds left on the shot clock. Finds a cutter in front. Oh, nice split dodge over to the left hand and dunking it home, Alex Dean. Beautiful one-on-one move for Dean, who adds her 4th tally of the day. Check out the move there from Dean. You saw the very end of it. She went from the right hand to her left, a little two-step to get away from the defender, right out in front of the Madonna goal. And Alex Dean, the sophomore, has got 4 goals today to pace everybody. Geed on the assist. Or was the one that dished it off to Dean before that dodge right out in front. And after scoring, Dean will go back to take the draw here against Pattinson. See the different ways to take the draw there. You see the regular hold of the stick from Dean and a motorcycle grip from Pattinson. Controlled by the Knights off the end of the cross of Brooks, but she's able to scoop it up before Rhea O'Connor could try to make her life a little bit more difficult. Brooks had a defender out, had a teammate out front, and the ball goes into the back of the net off Olivia Dean's goal. She was pushed from behind, and she didn't get a clean shot away, but as she was pushed down from behind, the ball left the cross and found the back of the net.
With the assist from number 4, Mackenzie Brooks.
So Mackenzie Brooks on the dime. You see Olivia Dean right there, was ready to shoot, ready to bring the cross up, got pushed from behind by Madison Hogue, it looked like. And it's all Knights here today at Ascension St. Vincent Field. So the goal wipes off any penalty or foul that would have called, or any card that would have been issued against Madonna. And a nice, almost lost the draw, but Sissel able to sky it and get it off to one of her teammates. And less than 5 to go here in the third. All Knights here in this WAC matchup, the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. Marian plays most of their sports in the Crossroads League, the Mid-States Football Association for football, obviously. The WAC, though, is where Madonna plays the majority of their contests, but not enough teams in the Crossroads League play lacrosse, and so affiliate members of the WAC, you'll see a lot of Crossroads League teams. If you have lacrosse, you're probably going to be in the WAC, whether it's men's or women's lacrosse. So a couple familiar faces for Marian on the women's lacrosse side with Bethel. Nice little give and go. Think about the over-the-shoulder shot. Unsuccessful trying to get it off was Coles. Back up to the passer and Dean, and she's able to find it. Dean, high to low, bouncer to the far post as she collects goal number 2 today.
Knights, number 24, Ella Grace Geed.
So Geed on the finish, a real feisty over-the-hand shot. The Knights extend their lead with less than 3.5 to go in the third. So 5 players today for the Knights with multiple goals. Again, led by Alex Dean, Piercy, Geed, Mason, Bozeman, all with 2. And Geed and Mason leading the way for the Knights with 3 helpers apiece. Marian has had the advantage in draw controls now at 10-8. Trying to find number 11, could not, as it's caught out of the deflection by McKee. She has the lone goal of the day for the Crusaders. Her pass went in off a Marian defender and into the back of the net. O'Connor. Goal line extended, pass out front and slipping it on the outside of the goal in a crease violation against Lily McKee. The pass kind of handcuffed her a little bit on her hip. It'll be Bardo, the backup netminder, ready to set up the clear. Irvin with ease across midfield to Geed, who has 5 points today to tie for the team lead for the Knights. Finds a cutter down the right alley. Pass back in front, but intercepted by Vin Antonio. Piercy, the intended target on that pass for Marian. Now Pattinson. Long pass, good over-the-shoulder catch made by Maddie Conrad. Racing, low-to-low shot goes wide and backed up by the Crusaders. Nice over-the-shoulder catch there by Conrad. And then had Grace Kircher twisting and turning, so he kept moving her way towards goal. Rodriguez on the restart, engages, face dodge, trying to find that left hand, fell out of the cross, still fought for inside the critical scoring area. And then O'Connor takes a spill, but it goes against Madonna, and the Knights have the clear going forward here with Sissel. Less than a minute to go here in the third. All Knights here today from Ascension St. Vincent Field. Blackburn, a couple steps above goal line extended, looking for cutters in front, has not been able to find an outlet just yet. Deals to Bozeman. He looks to set a screen. Bozeman wanted the throw back, couldn't give it to her. Thought about stepping in for about 8 meters. Tight quarter pass over the head of Montez and out of bounds. Remember, Marian has the wind at their backs here in the third. Wasn't sure if the wind might have picked up and took that one a little bit. 10 seconds remaining. Madonna's got to be careful as they try to clear from their own defensive end. Rodriguez had it, lost it, and that takes us to the end of 3. The Knights trying to win their 2nd game in a row. And they've added to their lead here in the third, outscoring the Crusaders 4-0 in the third. They lead 60-1 as we head to the 4th here on the ISC Sports Network.
Merchants Bank is one of the nation's top performing banks. Take our fixed rate CD, for example. At 4.5 APY, it's a great way to earn a higher interest rate than you do with a traditional savings account. Merchants Bank makes it simple. What you see is what you get. A great rate. No gimmicks, no minimums, no hidden fees. Merchants Bank, one of the nation's top performing banks. Hop on over.
Getting an internship here has been much easier than I anticipated. My friends at bigger schools are telling me, well, I need to live, close to this city so I can work for this company. Well, I'm already close to the city. I live here.
This story is mad good.
Ice Spice?
Who's that?
It's my ex lemon lime soda.
This is intense.
But I love you.
Ah, buddy, it'll be okay.
Or not.
Alex Dean's been the top goal scorer today for Marian. She came in 3rd on the year for for the Knights with 14 tallies. She's added 4 to that today to pace the game. She had a hat trick in the first half. You see all 3 first-half goals there when the sun was out. But she was able to get another one, her 4th of the day, back in that third quarter. Marian with 5 players with the double-figure goals, with four sitting on 2, trying to join Dean in the hat trick club. See, Jada Taylor took a pretty big shot on that right forearm back in the first half. We have not seen her here yet in the second half. Today's game brought to you by First On Site. First On Site, formerly More Restoration, is here to help power you through whatever comes your way. From fire and flood to catastrophic storms or biohazards, they have the team, technology, and resources to help you restore, rebuild, and rise. Go Knights! Today's game also brought to you by Hoagies and Hops. Hoagies and Hops have been serving PA-style hoagies and cheesesteaks in Indianapolis since 2015. Located just 5 minutes from campus, Hoagies and Hops is proud to partner with Marian University and Athletics and will provide a 15% discount for all fans. Just show your game day ticket or Marian ID card. For hours, menu, and location, visit hoagiesandhops.com. I wonder if that counts for notes, broadcast notes. I wonder if that counts to take that over to Hoagies and Hops, maybe get a delicious sandwich after the contest here today, pick it up and go home and try to ride the storms out. Here tonight, that'll be coming in here in a couple of hours or so. Game time moved up to 4 o'clock today. We've seen a lot of athletic contests at the college level, both here in Indianapolis and also up in Fort Wayne, that have been moved because of the weather. A 77-degree day. We got to 80 in that first half. The winds have been brutal, 23 miles an hour to start the contest off, and Marian's got to go into the teeth of it here as it blows from right to left on your screen. So Marian going into it here in the 4th. And they have led the entire way, trying to build on it here as they win the draw to start the 4th quarter, and they have the first possession of our final stanza here today. Tip of the cap again to our great crew, director Vince Morales, replay Dalton Cox, camera operators out in that blustery, windy day, Elijah Mash, Ian Wheeler, and Jacob Kripe here today from Ascension St. Vincent Field on the west side of Indianapolis at Marian University. Our crew will be back here next week for the big in-state matchup between the Knights and the Warriors of Indiana Tech. Coles had a couple tallies back in that first half. Goal line extended in Brooks. She had a helper back in the 3rd. This is Lizzie Piercy. All her scoring came in the 1st. Going to throw it towards the top of the crease. She wanted the cutting Grace Kircher. Pass got knocked down, and now it'll be Vin Antonio, the netminder, trying to set up the clear. But knifing her way through, picking up that bouncing ball, Chase Searcy. She's got a head of steam, and she tried to go high to low, but a good stop by Vin Antonio as Searcy tried to do it all herself. Violation here against Madonna. We do not see who's serving the in-home penalty. It looked like it was on Vin Antonio for the follow-through as she was trying to clear from the crease. So it might be Zadancic serving the in-home right now for the Crusaders. And they have just the 6 players there in the defensive end. As back on the power play goes Marian, trying to score their 2nd player advantage here today. Dean with 4. And the push called against Dixon. Piercy attacking from the right side, goes back to her right hand. Behind goal line extended to Brooks. Intended player was Mason. Got checked away, and now it's Rodriguez charging forward here for the Crusaders. So try to get into the offensive end for the first time here in this fourth. Rodriguez able to elude Mason. Could not get away from Moore until right now. Pass knocked down, Moore deflected and intercepted. Cause turnover for Anna Moore, the senior from Carmel, Indiana. Moore from straight away. Finds the wide open Kircher down the right side. Shot bounced and stabbed away by Vidantonio. Vidantonio with a couple of nice stops here early on in the fourth stanza. Another long-range pass, one-handed catch Conrad. Now she's got ahead of steam, trying to beat both Marian defenders, 1v1, and she's able to put it off hip. Conrad had a similar run like that earlier in this second half.
Goal Crusaders, number 7,
But Conrad, another nice over-the-shoulder catch, and then just all the speed, sidearm, and able to beat Bardo. Conrad with her 12th goal of the year for the junior from Northville, Michigan.
Timeout on Ascension St. Vincent. Madonna University, their first.
So Madonna takes a timeout, their first timeout here of the second half. Marian University Athletics is excited to launch their new strategic fundraising campaign to enhance the student-athlete experience across campus. Because of the generosity of several Marian donors, all new gifts or pledges between September 1st through April 2024 to athletic scholarship funds and the Facility Enhancement Fund will be matched up to $1 million. To make your gift to support these efforts, please visit marian.com/journey to 2030. Additional information can be found on munites.com. And get all the up-to-date information on Knights athletics at munites.com and follow us on Twitter at munites. That's at munites. You can also join the M Club. Today, joining the M Club is the absolute best way to support our student athletes at Marian University. For more information, visit marian.edu/mclub. We mentioned it back in the first half. The Knights will have Saturday off. They were originally scheduled to play WAC opponent Aquinas, but that game has been ruled a forfeit in favor of Marian. So even though they've only played 10 games this year, they have the credit for the 11th, which was supposed to take place Saturday. They already have the win on their resume. 7-4 overall, 3-1 in the WAC. Looking to improve on that here in the final 10:36 of our fourth quarter. They'll turn their sights to in-state foe Indiana Tech coming up a week from today here on this field. We'll have it for you here on the ISC Sports Network, with the opening draw taking place at around 6 o'clock coming up here next week from Ascension St. Vincent Field. We'll hope you join us then. Our ISC Network, Sports Network crew has been very busy the last couple of weeks with the end of the high school basketball season here in Indiana, but we turn our sights to the spring. We were here yesterday for the Marian softball doubleheader, which the Knights swept. Just a couple of feet away, 100 feet away from where we currently sit. Special shout out to our longtime camera operator, Rob Lynch, who retired after 40 years in the sports broadcasting business yesterday. Finished off his great career yesterday here with ISC over at the softball complex. Draw control for Sissel and Marian. They're being tied at the half. The Knights have done a much better job of getting the draw controls here in the third and now fourth quarter. Sissel with some opening space. Face dodge up top. She tries to go off the hip, deflected away. Ruby Mason there on the ground ball for the Knights, but a good-looking shot there from Sissel. Blackburn pops it off to Geed. Montez on the edge here for the Knights. Behind goal line extended. Pass might have gotten deflected. It found the cross of Antonio, the netminder, here for Madonna as the Crusaders drop back to clear. There's Maddie Conrad. Showed off her speed last time to get a goal. She has McKee out front. Throwing a little bit behind her. McKee with that brace on her left knee, able to scoop it up. As Conrad falls behind goal line, extended, now gets the pass. She cuts in with a face dodge. Lefty shot. Misses its mark, but backed up by Abigail Magda and a couple other Crusaders. I'll say it wasn't backed up by the Crusaders, excuse me, and so Marian with a quick clear, and they're already into the attacking end here with Blackburn. Two defenders waiting for Blackburn as she surveys. And deals to Geed, who's had another multi-point performance today. Bozeman and now Sissel. Behind goal line, extended to Brooks. Off the cross, able to save it before it goes out of bounds. Marian scored the first 8 goals of our game, leading 8-0 after the first, and have not looked back since. Trying to fake the pass was Montez. It popped out of the cross. And almost was picked clean out of the air by Madonna and Rushlow. O'Connor had it, trying to rake it away from her. Our two different Knights, and then coming out of the scrum is Geed. You can hear the no numbers call from the Marian sideline down below us. So Geed stomps on the brakes. In front, Blackburn. Path was cut off, back out to Geed. On the edge of the critical scoring area is Montez. Behind goal line extended in Brooks, who has an assist here in the second half. Backhand flip to Mason. Cutter down the left side, rolling back right hand. Low-to-low shot, bounced and stopped. On the attempt there was Bozeman. Ground ball scoop for Abigail Hanchin of Madonna. Sissel trying to ride her out of bounds. Retreating back in. Rushlow able to snack that pass out of the air, and now Madonna coming up the near sideline. Long pass forward, Hernandez with the scoop. And now it'll be Rodriguez. Down the right side. Pops it into the area, able to gather the possession back in and throws it back over to Conrad. Scored earlier in the fourth. Sidearm pass to the left side of the field, and Kennedy weaving her way through multiple defenders but couldn't finish. Still with a back up her own miss right before it goes out of bounds. Rodriguez handcuffed on a pretty hot pass from tight quarters, scooped up by the Knights and Esbady Montez. The Knights jog in with Blackburn. Fakes left, goes right, and then back to her left. Geen back to Blackburn around on the doorstep, but she couldn't thread it between the legs of Vidantonio. Olivia's made some really strong saves here from Madonna in the fourth. Bozeman and Sissel. The clock is their friend as we've gone to a running clock since the second quarter. Straight away at the point is Bozeman. Less than 60 seconds remaining here on the shot clock on this possession for Marian. Turn to the corner, Blackburn. Little face dodge from a defender. Oh, it goes off the far pipe as Blackburn tried to float it over the netminder Vidantonio. And just missed a goal by about an inch or so. Would have been her first tally of the day to go with an assist back in the first quarter. Good ride from the Knights. They pop the ball free as Geed able to scoop it up. As Marian falls back into the attacking end here in the fourth. Offense has been a little bit more harder to come by in the second and fourth. Going into the teeth of the wind, that 23 to 25 mile an hour wind since the opening draw almost 2 hours ago. Blackburn and Marian very patient here on this possession. Less than 4 to go here in this one. Geed breaks out to scoop up the loose change. Blackburn a cutter out front. Bumped a little bit on the catch. Still fought for on the turf. Geed with a nose to the ball, picks up another ground ball here for Marian. Nicely done by the Stellar junior. Aaron pass right outside of the box. Trying to help it was Olivia Dean. On defense for the Knights. Conrad racing forward. She had it taken away, and then she gets whistled for the push after Olivia Dean took it away from her. Geed on a side step. And that'll be a push and a green card here against Sydney Pattinson.
On the Crusaders, number 16, Sydney Pattinson.
First card of the fourth quarter. And the second one that's gone against Sydney Pattinson, the top goal scorer and point producer for Madonna today. The first of the green variety. Less than 3 to play here in the fourth. Power play opportunity, and getting the save out in front was the goalie Vidantonio. And Madonna has 7 players in the defensive area. There'll be another violation here against Madonna. Another green card issued as Rodriguez. There are one too many players for Madonna in the defensive end.
Yellow card issued to the Crusaders, number 9, Ryan Rodriguez.
So it's Ryan Rodriguez, the freshman from Canton, Michigan. As the Knights 2 women up here with 2.5 to play. Olivia Dean, so the Knights are trying to thread it through. Then the ground ball picked up by Vidantonio. Olivia Dean goes back to pressure. Vidantonio outside of the crease. Sidesteps her, but still trying to find a little bit of an angle to dish a pass away. Vidantonio went back into the crease. It's that misstep by the Crusaders, gives it back to the Knights with about 2 minutes left to go here in this one. Alex Dean has been the top goal scorer today with 4 tallies to lead the way for the Knights. As we're back to even strength as Abigail Magda comes back and out of the box. Piercy around the crease trying to find her 3rd goal of the day. Ball knocked out of the cross. Fought for and scooped up by Piercy with 80 seconds left to go here. Nice split dodge to a left hand, floating it back as Dean to Dean. Alex to Olivia, and the shot goes just wide. And the goal scored right on the doorstep by Delaney Colas with a minute left to go. Colas
Delaney Colas.
with her 2nd goal today. She's now got 3 points. To go with her assist earlier today as well. That'll put the finishing touches on Marian's 8th win of the season. As the Knights have flexed their muscles since the opening draw today. Goalie Olivia Vidantonio getting an explanation back near the Madonna goal. And one more draw, controlled by Madonna's. They've got a couple seconds left as Conrad tries to find a little bit of an angle. And should be unsuccessful doing so as the Crusaders get a goal in the second and the fourth quarter. They fall today by a final of 17-2 here to the Marian Knights, with 6 players with multiple goals today for Marian, led by Alex Dean's 4. She also had an assist for 5 points. Piercy had 2 goals and an assist. Cole has 2 goals and a helper. 2 goals and 3 assists for Geed and Mason, and 2 goals for Bozeman today. Olivia Dean and Allison Sissel each scored once. Montez scored once for Marian as well. Blackburn with an assist, and Brooks had 2 assists as well. With the win, Marian moves to 8-4 on the year. A lot to dance about today for the Knights. They also move to 4-1 on the year. They've won 5 out of the last 6 as they get ready to welcome WLAC foe and Indiana State foe. Indiana Tech coming up here next Wednesday. That'll be right here on our air on the ISC Sports Network. We'll see you next week.